Sect by playing badly. I saved the whole sect by playing badly. Chapter 9. The first time he signed up to join the sect, he threw a big hole in the back mountain, and after 2 months of being ruined, he became a pro-bishop in a daze, and then burned the library together with another pro-bishop after only a month of being a pro-bishop. It's really a god and a man. Joe Exingyun fell into deep contemplation. Did they take in a junior sister, or came back with a scourge? The words are divided into 2 parts. Yi Qiao and Ming Xuan, who didn't know that they were completely famous, came to the forbidden area together. This is the place where the ancestor of the Changming sect ascended. It is said that there are many treasures left behind, so it was listed as a forbidden area. Opportunities and dangers have always coexisted in the cultivation world. Yi Qiao just wanted to simply copy a book. She didn't overthink her ability to go treasure hunting. The beautiful mountains and rivers are full of mysterious ancient rhymes. It is not so much a forbidden place as it is a beautiful and quiet place for cultivation. The rich aura is very suitable for setting up a spirit gathering array. When the 2 came to the forbidden area, there were already people sitting inside. The figure is also very familiar. Yi Qiao took a closer look. Isn't this her dear third senior brother? Zhu Yu waved his hands enthusiastically, and leaned back slightly. Ah, it's you. How did you come here? This is a forbidden place, and it is usually a place where people are punished to face the wall and think about their mistakes. Ordinary people really can't get in. Yi Qiao. Oh, I burned the library pavilion. Zhu Yu was silent for a while, and looked at Ming Xuan. What about him? Yi Qiao. Oh, he burned it with me. You have a grudge against the steward? Yi Qiao shook her head. No. I was just playing with fire and accidentally burned the book. Playing with fire. Can this normal person play that thing at night? What about you? Ming Xuan, who was driven from Bearcow Garden to Sanwei bookstore, was numb. He found that there was nothing good to do with his junior sister. How did you get in? Zhu Yu was one of the few with a good temper among them. In the past, only he and Mu Chongxi were often fined and imprisoned. Now there is Yi Qiao. I was never alone on this road to the forbidden area. Zhu Yu's expression was calm. I practiced a few pills and let my brothers around me take them. I never thought that something wrong with the effect of the medicine and poisoned them. Yi Qiao. What kind of crooked sect's direct disciple is this? People clerk. Sitting on the ground, Ming Xuan kept urging Yi Qiao. Junior sister, copy it quickly. I will not go out until you finish copying. Yi Qiao, who was forced to do business, slowly put on the mask of pain. She took out more than a dozen image stones from the mustard bag, and then took out clean rice paper. She probed into the image stone with her spiritual sense, closed her eyes for a moment, and pages of talisman books were opened at an extremely fast speed. Concentrate on memorizing word by word, and then pick up a pen and start transcribing. Because she was in a hurry to catch up with work, Yi Qiao's handwriting was just like that ghost drawing talisman. Her wild and unruly handwriting guaranteed that her parents would not be able to recognize it even when they came. Zhu Yu was silent for a moment, then poked the senior brother next to him with his elbow. What are you doing, little junior sister? Copy books. Ming Xuan explained. She burned a dozen of the talisman books on the 3rd floor, and then in order to appease the manager's anger, the little junior sister promised to write down all the 10 books, and then copied them verbatim. Zhu Yu was slightly stunned, remembering everything. If he really has this kind of memory, then what kind of genius must his little junior sister be? Yi Qiao was engrossed in copying, and the speed of writing gradually accelerated. She brought out the spirit of when she was preparing for the exam. She spent the whole day copying books, and the speed left the 2 people next to her dumbfounded. Help me up, I can still learn. She raised her head and let out a faint breath. wondering if it was Mingxuan's illusion. He seemed to see a little ghost spit out from Yi Qiao's mouth. The life in the forbidden area is getting more and more difficult day by day. Mingxuan is now completely counting on her to take him out after copying the book. When he heard this, he immediately squeezed her shoulders. Come on, little junior sister. Half an hour later, Yi Qiao went underground. I won't learn any more, let me die. Have a headache and feel dizzy. Yi Qiao stretched out her hand and touched the tip of her nose. There was blood in her hand. She is in more pain. Zhu Yu became nervous, and quickly cheered her up. Hold on, junior sister, it's up to you whether we can go out or not. I have the God replenishing pill here, you can eat more so that you can continue on your way. As long as the junior sister finishes copying, he might be able to ascend to heaven with the chicken and dog, and come out of the forbidden area together. Writing down more than a dozen talisman books in 2 days will definitely consume a huge amount of spiritual consciousness, so when Yi Qiao gets dizzy, Zhu Yu will considerately send the God replenishing pill. Yi Qiao's hand holding the pill trembled slightly. Mingxuan said earnestly, I believe that as long as you work hard enough, junior sister, we can live the life we want. Yi Qiao, I thank you all. You are really my good brothers. Yi Qiao took a deep breath, got up after taking the medicine, and continued to copy. She wrote quickly, and her mind was full of various complicated talisman drawing methods, their functions and how to draw talisman patterns on the magic weapon. What kind of earth escape talisman, Vajra talisman, and square formation talisman were all spinning wildly in her mind. After this encounter, Yi Qiao can guarantee that no one knows how to draw symbols better than her. Knock your mother woo woo woo, I knew I wouldn't be a wave. Because she needed to draw the appearance of the talisman when copying the book, she was in a hurry, and the speed of drawing the talisman was extremely fast. Each talisman was drawn in one stroke, chic and neat. Yi Qiao found that her sea of consciousness seemed to widen. The original body's spiritual roots were not pure, and her spiritual consciousness was also poor. She passed out before drawing a few talismans. But now she miraculously found that the sea of consciousness has widened. Even if she doesn't take the tonic pill, she won't have a headache or nosebleed every now and then. Does copying books also help to temper the capacity of the sea of consciousness? Have you broken your mirror? Just as Yi Qiao was thinking, Mingxuan's movement of raising Erlang's legs stopped. Only then did Yi Qiao feel something, it seems so. Qi training peak. It's just one step away from building the foundation. Only then did she realize that it wasn't copying books that made the sea of consciousness wider, but because she broke the mirror, so the sea of consciousness naturally became wider. Mingxuan stood up in amazement. Is this a broken mirror? Is it so easy? There is a hurdle in the late stage of Qi training to the peak of Qi training, and it is rare to break the mirror so easily without spending a day of epiphany. Is this the so-called bad luck? Zhu Yu was thoughtful. Do you think there is a possibility that the little junior sister breaks the mirror by comprehending the talisman? Alchemy breaks the mirror by refining alchemy, and talisman repair naturally breaks the mirror by drawing talismans. Yi Qiao has been reading talisman books crazily for 2 days. This explanation makes sense. Mingxuan cracked even more. But isn't she a sword cultivator? This fucking is okay too. Zhu Yu thoughtfully. Have you heard of the double cultivation of 2 ways? But isn't this only a very small number of people? Mingxuan still finds it incredible that those who can cultivate both ways are only a very small number of people with high comprehension. But not everyone is a figure like Patriarch. Yi Qiao patted his hand away to stop the 2 of them from thinking wildly. She said, maybe it's just because of the strong aura. It can only be explained in this way, otherwise, can I really be able to cultivate both swords and symbols?